How much would we need to pay you to wear our product? We are a farm. We are seeking models to actually wear our SKUs from shoes to head to toes. We are a local farm here in the United States of America, and we're extremely proud of this fact and the world as association with materials to get the right material that feels comfortable, whether you are going for a run, whether you're driving in one of our cars, whether you're flying on one of our jets or planes. As we continue to evolve and go to the next level, we welcome you to be one of our star models. How do you feel and how confident would you be to be our model? Well, there are some criteria that we would need for you to fulfill. We would need to be working out athletics. We have to get that checked off the bucket list. Your life doesn't really change. We still want you to go out, do your day-to-day professional work. And this might be mute right now, so we're going to unplug this and plug this. We're going to take this off and make sure that you are able to understand what we're saying and articulate. We speak English. Buenos dias, bawani, konnichiwa. Dominantly English, okay? Like, we understand there are so many different words and alchemy of expression. Verbal is fine. We are able to comprehend and understand, and we're also able to do written. So either or to get us to that next level, to get us to that next level of association, conversations. Every human has like this amazing act, amazing athletic being. They have their 9 to 5, they're doing their job, whether they're rappers, singers, basketball players. We welcome all. We do not want to limit professions, whether it's doctors, firefighters, law enforcement, sheriffs, FBI, CIA. We welcome presidents like to be one of our models. Kings, queens, lizards, bamboo, elephants, lions, tigers, squirrels, beaver, boxers, soccer players. You know, we don't want to close our imagination and our ability to be limitless in our thoughts and in our ability to attract healthy models to want to associate with our H2O, right? Our brand, air, all the above, and just get to the next level, right? It's really a simple conversation. There's a lot of amazing brands out there. We see HO, we see Skechers is rising up with their prices. We see Nike, we see Adidas. There's a plethora of different brands that we are able to historically read about. Apple, the wave of colors, right? Ford, they came out with color waves and different things like that to really help with their association to their brands. One of the things about all of these people, they're for-profit, non-profits. We are for profit. We want to disclose this. While that is the case, how much and one, what does that mean, right? And that's a great question. If you're asking us that, what does that mean? How much? Is essentially we're looking for models. We don't want your life to change. We do expect pictures, videos, everything, limitless. Like, would you need to get naked at times, depending on the scene and the act that we're looking to display? And you know, how old do you have to be? Well, there's different age group where we'll never in our fucking right mind as a dad ask anyone, okay, to do, okay, because we're a fucking dad. You understand what I'm saying? Now, if you're 21 and up, this is for you. This is a grown-up conversation, man-to-man conversation. Of course, we don't want to limit our ability to have models. We want to have PG, PG-13, rated R, all the above, right? So we don't want to limit the scope of models, okay? What we do want to do is set the right fucking standards, set the right fucking principles, and set the right motherfucking tones, okay? So everyone is on the same fucking page. Everyone has a coherent understanding, and they're wise and smart enough to comprehend what we're saying. We are a motherfucking DAD, right? Like ADD, right? Like, so what we want to do is get to how much, and then we fast forward that, and we want to make sure that it is a win-win-win association. There's some top acts right now, right? We have some great colleges, communities, and universities. Well, we've went to college. College is a experience of whirlwinds. Okay, we've had some great memories and some non-great memories, just like high school, just like middle school, and all the above. Okay, and most likely we've become a lifelong learner. Now we want to create models. What are we talking about? Who are we to want to dream big and say, hey, we want to create our own models? And we don't want their track, whether they play soccer or whatever their profession is, to limit the scope of models. We want to be inclusive. We really want to hit the spectrum and reel it in real quickly. Like EJ, right? Great models. He has, where we're from, like this person is fucking on top of it. Very, very sharp, very punctual, like has group of entourage, like all the above, right? We got a bit of magic and abracadabra and all the above. And we want to be inclusive. We want the Smiths of the world, the Carpenters of the world. We do not want to limit the Disneys, the Nickelodeons, the all the above professionals of the world. Air, right? Water, HCO. We didn't want to limit athletics. We didn't want to limit our scope of being able to dream and imagine what kind of athletes. I know we understand we have a bit of mucus. We want to address that right off the being straightforward with you guys is we understand we do have boogers in our nose and it's dripping and it might hit our mouth and we might have licked it a couple of times. This would not be something we should be disclosing at this point because it's more of a personal thing. We could just use like this right here and just like wipe it. And man, I think this is a lot more professional. This is a bit more professional. As this is how like Noah Ark. You ever seen that? Like Job, you ever read the Bible that associated with that kind of like trial and tribulation and God just kicks your ass and kicks your ass and then kicks your ass again. And you've been beat up by your black brothers, your white brothers, and all your brothers, maybe brown brothers, right? And you are even brown brothers, okay? Maybe all brothers, okay? And you're just a dad, and we're just trying to figure this shit out. And it's like row your boat gently down the stream, merrily, merrily, merrily. Life is but a fucking dream. And as we continue this journey, it's a very pivotal conversation that we must have with ourselves and just have the necessary conscious self-love and adaptation and the zeal to continue to dream big and be continuous in our advantageous pursuits of excellence, even when we have not said the proper things that most people would say in a normal situation when they're faced with the type of trials and tribulation that we have associated with. While we would not disclose this because we have to be professional at all times and personal, guess what? Personal? Would you think some shit is personal? Do you think we even have personal? We have learned to walk. W-A-L-K, bitch. Maybe that's the only thing we know how to ever spell. You would never know, okay? The most important thing is how much would you mathematically equate to a number that we can fast forward this conversation and then we sit there and we then equate, would this be something we can afford? And what is our return on investment as a brand that's looking to retain models? And it was a tough conversation to have and even try to get our own child to be one of our models without their intellectual consent. And it was sad, right, as a dad, because you start looking at like how can we get models, and we just made it where, man, we was like, man, I would just like maybe my daughter be my model, right? We even hire some white kids and black kids and to be our models to wear some of our brands, and their life experience, their journey was amazing. Like hearing their stories and understanding some of their trials and tribulations, some personal and some professional, and the battle and back and forth, right? And just the realization that, like, fuck, this, shit is tough sometimes. Life is fucking tough. guess what? It's tough for everyone. It's tough for everyone. So we as a humanity, as a being of light, as a being of excellence, have to come together and realize that we are one. Death is certain. And the most important thing we need to have is a full locus of self-control within ourselves, a full mindfulness of self-control. And we simplify that by the equational numbers. Numbers, simple, right? And we start, how do we understand number? We should be able to understand number like art. It's like reading. Reading is numbers. Look at the numbers, numerical. We're just very, 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 very excited about God's amazing love in our life. While we might not be the best singers, how much, fast forward, it's been just amazing, hasn't it? How amazing time has continued to progress. And some people are still stuck in Kim Possibles. And while we can make it possible, here at our home away from home, we welcome all to join us and come to hang and have fun. Maybe inner child comes out, and while we embrace the present moment and cheerfully giving our sweat to make the world a healthier, more safer, and more agile, more empathetic world. How do we do that? How much? Branding is very important, and we thought storytelling was also as uniquely important. And facing different trials and tribulation and having different life experience and near-death experience, we start equating and being 100 to 1,000 to 1,000,000 to 6, 7 to 0. And what is our equational value in our company? Zero. How much are we worth? Zero. And limitless. The possibilities endless, right? In our community, there are people throwing ones on the floor. How many people can we get to throw ones on the floor? And if that number could total out to be $1 million, then we're able to build up our building here, our construction, hire architects for about $40,000. We're also an average, let's say, is 120,000 to get an architect, plus or minus if additional costs, because there are some things that the architects feels they might or we might not need. Right? There's demolition. Would that be a consideration that we have to look into? Would we just be able to renovate this place? What would that look like? Would there be stones, woods, or would it be glass? And we have to really think about that and see longevities, surveyors, and make sure the contracts is reasonable. We have a sufficient time frame to execute on these things, and then we look at what the return on investment will be for us. And overall, how much can we sell in tickets if we decide to get a Fetty Wap, okay, Trap Queen, have him sing one song for us? He used to be about $250,000. Would we be able to pay him $1? Maybe we come together as a community and say, okay, maybe this would be good for all businesses. Of course, Fetty Wap does say provocative things. So we have, if our kids, what age limitations would we be setting at these concerts? And we have to really have a really healthy conversation and make sure, like, what are we doing for safety if we want to create a concert and we're hiring some of the top acts in the United States and the world, right? Maybe we get a soccer player, Messi here. How much of tickets could we sell, right? Maybe we get a, Mr. Brown, locals, and look at locals, artists, talents, symphony within the whatever spectrum, planes, parades, whatever talent we have, and mathematically how much. And then what is our return on investment? And it's so important to look at some of the top acts in the world and just embrace their fucking musical themed and their sweat. And we just are looking to pay people to wear our brand. And that's really where we're at. And of course, we've experienced different having a full locus of control within ourselves and just having a level of self-love and contempt that we know that we don't know, and we are willing to learn and ask the necessary questions to get us to an answer that is sufficiently proven based on data and leveraging Google, Gemini, ChatGPT, just to chat. It's like there's this concept, right? What? How much? And what's our return on investment? No, bitch. I really lie. How much, bitch? Like, son, if you ever felt like you were ugly, I just want you to know this, okay? You just say, how much? And, we went to strip clubs. I want you to feel very safe if you go to a strip club, okay? A gentleman's club. You know, most people might look down on this, and we do not look down on this because these women are amazing. Very, very thoughtful, caring humans, and very honest. What did dad always get, woman? Sweetheart, let me tell you this. Work sometimes get hard. Even when dad had a woman, he was very at work. And he also started, it's like enjoying a strip club. How much? And paid. And did forgot to pay mommy. And that was just it. The mathematical equation did not physically equate to a win win situation. And when that ceased to take place, we removed our association that we were contractually bound to while it was a tough conversation. Dad cried within that process of time. Fast forward, we have mathematically equationed our working towards the debt owed to the strippers and mommy for inadequately tallying up the necessary number that took to adequately, sufficiently safeguard the necessary funds to have a genius end. If that was going to be working, it needed to be a win-win-win. And when it started being a win-lose-lose, we decided that it no longer was a beneficial association. While it was a tough conversation, we had you in mind in this process. We've had to make the best decision for ourselves as individuals. While Dad used we a lot. Okay, we as a mind, body, spirit, and soul. I want you to equate we to like just Dad meditates, swimming, wrestling, football, soccer, all of that stuff, right? Just enjoying life, going outside in nature, taking inhales, exhale. Okay, that's what Dad loves to do. Okay, how many times does that fish? Once. Now, the most important part is how much. Fast forward, this is belong to Elevate Cannabis Inc. We trademark this. No one should print, use, or advertise our face, image, and likeness without our written consent. If so, you're violating, and our fee is $1 million. $1 million to use our face and likeness with our permission. If you have not done that, you're bogus and you owe us cash. And if you have not paid us, we are more than happy to just white envelope it. If you ever use our face, image, and likeness at any way, shape, or form, have a level of integrity, son, that's how we win, okay? We're a small business, and people have used our face, image, and likeness without our permission. That is illegal, immoral, and capturing us doing negative things that has not equated to any sum of zero. How much are they making from this? Like, how poor are they? Or how limitless are they? Or how stagnant are they? We got to ask really, really, really tough questions. While most people don't want to ask the tough questions. It's like, how much medication are they on? And how fucked up are they? How sick in the fucking heart are they? How gutless are they? How much of a fucking pig are they? Or are they fucking cows? Are they lions, mystical animals, dragons, dinosaurs? We think a lot of those are in fucking Seattle, right? Like mythical creatures. What kind of animal we have here locally, sir? You don't want to know. It's a small town. We are still looking through all the animal lists. We're not judging whatever mythical creatures God does. Maybe some of them are hurting and they just need a bit of flower and sunshine and a bit of, maybe a doctor, a lawyer, maybe an athletic club that really fucking shows up for them and becomes their biggest cheerleader by fucking injecting cash for being our fucking model. How much? Thank you. How do we get to a win-win-win outcome? Thank you. God bless. Well, God is what God? God is within how much, right? Like we are looking to scope the next model. We do not want to limit the model's potential of creativity. Would you like to be Thor? How much then what's the return on investment? Because we got to get the necessary sewing, we got to get the size, we got to get all of the necessary. How much? What kind of brand are we looking to create? What does that look like? What's our IP? Private organization. Benjamin Oluwaseun Adedeji, IP owner. Boom, boom, boom. Anyone that takes my image likeness would like to say, son, whether my white sons that we adopt and or black son or Chinese fucking son, right? Make sure our ladies are taken care of. We do have a lot of debt that we do have to pay to these strippers. We also now have sisters, remember that, and mothers, and etc. So we got to keep that in mind as we're progressing within our evolution and understanding what does that look like when we start having really hard tough conversation. We have to ask, how much? Right? That's a tough conversation that we have to sometime in our life as we become an adult. This is the adult version that we're talking to right now, right? The mature version that can really sit down as a man and look at the man in the mirror and really ask the real question: how much? And then level of competency. How do we expand? How do we build? How do we grow? What are we growing? What how much? Thank you.